Yes, everyone, we're back today with another vlog. We're going to actually be attending a business mastermind in Warwick, so it's going to be really, really cool. Context with this event or this mastermind, to get in, your combined companies have to be doing a minimum of 750k per year in revenue, right? So and that's at the bottom end. So everyone there is actually doing pretty much £1 million plus in turnover every year. And that's bottom end. You know, a lot of companies there are doing like 10 million, 20 million. And the mastermind is basically about how you can build your business to exit. So one thing that I came across for the last few years is about private equity and mergers and acquisitions. I feel like service-based businesses such as deal sourcing, agencies are really good for your cash flow, but for your long-term wealth, it's all about having that, you know, capital event number where, as you've probably seen, like you can just sell your company for like tens of millions, and that can kind of set you up for life. So the mastermind is all about how you can scale your business and prepare for exit, how you can, you know, remove yourself from the brand to make it run without you. So it's going to be really, really interesting. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I think a lot will be learned. I always like put myself in rooms where I feel like, you know, the lowest achiever in comparison to everyone else, because I think number one, it humbles you, but number two, it also allows you to tap into what they've been able to do to achieve what you want to achieve. So we just landed. I won't lie, I'm a little bit underwhelmed. Online, this apartment looked very nice and modern, but it's alright. But let me kind of show you guys around. So this is one room. Again, online this looked a lot bigger. This is another room. There's 2 single beds there. But cool. It's a bit messy in here, but we've got the main living room area. Again, it's alright, but again, this looked a lot different online. But to be fair, this is only our base. I've got some meal prep there. So yeah, this is only our base for the next 2 days. Kwame is on his way. I've got a couple calls with my team right now. And we'll probably just like, yeah man, do some content, get some food, and then prepare for the event tomorrow. So yeah man, this is it. The main man's arrived. All day for money still.
I picked up the camera.
What we doing right now? What we doing?
I got some gems on camera, mate.
Yeah man.
Yeah, we got our YouTube video to film. VSL and Denzel.
This is the guy behind it all, man. Mr. 360. So you lot, you on the way to Business Mastermind with the boy Kwam.
Let's go, man.
It's going to be interesting.
DJI squared, man. We got this here. We got that there.
Make sure you subscribe to Kwam's
2
YouTube.
POVs, man.
Make sure you subscribe to YouTube. So what, Kwam, what are you most interested about learning about this
Scaling,
mastermind?
bro. I think that's the most important thing for me. Like scaling without being over leveraged and paying too many people.
Yeah.
Keeping the business actually needed in the team. Who is like non-negotiable? Who isn't mandatory? And how do I go about paying them? Commission. Are they going to be motivated by commission, or are they going to be motivated by me paying them like a standard monthly salary or something like that? So it's stuff along the lines of that. And then I think in terms of selling, I'm building good systems that I can sell, but I'd get their input as well, see what they say, if they recommend me going about it a different way. Because I think the systems I'm building is automation.
Yeah.
But for like a multi-million-dollar company, there might need to be manual processes as well. I can't just automate the entire thing. So,
and I think as well for me, it's also about making sure that if I could take a 3-month holiday from the business, it doesn't affect revenue.
yeah,
That's key as well, because I think, especially when you're the founder,
yeah,
it's very easy for the business to rely on you.
yeah.
But it's about seeing how you can make it systemized and still working.
Still works without you being like.
Yeah, we put it over to film. I'll share with you guys some of the insights that we've learned.
Yeah.
And the network that we make. So yeah, man.
The network's here with Pete, so I can't lie.
It's gonna be very good, man.
Because to get into this room, have you told them how much you need to make it?
I think 750k revenue minimum.
Every year, bro.
So it's a
in the
crazy
big leagues now, man. So
no small boy.
no small boy, no more type shit.
Yeah, man. You lot, I'll update you lot soon. see online are very much inflated just so someone can buy a program or service.
Exactly.
But these guys, when I tell you, those people, so everyone in that room was doing literally £1 million plus in revenue, right? And there was businesses as simple as like an automatic door or a dog breeder, and these are making
Or a
millions of
flipping
pounds of
tutor.
revenue, yeah, or a tutoring business. And these guys don't even have social media presence, but what they've perfected is
Business.
customer delivery, business, operations, and scalability. Now, if they add the social media,
Peak.
game changer. But with a lot of businesses that I know, it's just people who are popular who've happened to create a business, which is still obviously a big achievement, but it's mostly like they just done it through their brand. Whereas these guys, they've actually built an actual business brand successfully, and they don't even need that type of marketing to do it. So
Yeah, and the reality
cool.
of it is like you could successfully run that business at the age of 23, 24, but bro, are you going to be 34 posting flipping TikToks? Or do you want to have a business that's actually a business that isn't dependent on you buying a Ferrari and flexing and doing all these, you know, these little acts that's in actual reality you can't afford it. Do you know what I mean? Just to get a client. So yeah, man, it's pretty insightful. Learn a lot, and I think it's going to be changing for me. Quite
Game
pivotal.
changer, man.
We've had some pivotal moments this year. This is definitely one of them.
you see, me and Kwam, we're just in the room because again, we were the youngest there.
Yeah.
We're just in the room. When he would say something, we just look at each other. Like,
And they were just smiling. That's what we needed to know. Like that is what we need. That's what we were struggling with. So it's been good networking as well, because everyone in there, like we said, like you had to be making a certain amount to get into the room, and a lot of the guys there, they're killing it off. Like there's a guy
humble,
making
bro.
7 million a year, 8 million a year. You've got guys going from 12 to 36 million within 1 year. And you couldn't tell. And I think that's the beautiful thing.
Couldn't tell
No flipping flexing, no Rolexes, no, like it's just pure business people, like just focused on what is the business needing, how much can I, you know, invest back into it, and how much can I make from it in the long run, and what am I leaving behind as a legacy and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool, man.
So guys, today we're at the DJ Pierce Academy meetup. So for those of you who know, I run a property education company where I help sources scale and systemize their own property sourcing business. So bi-monthly, I host meetups in person, either at a project visit or at a hotel like we are at today. So it's gonna be a really, really good day. We're gonna go over systems, scaling, how to find investors, live deal calling, and yeah, all of the rest you'll see in the video. But this is kind of like talking about what I've created called the stages of wealth creation, right? Because again, everyone has different levels and different goals for different vehicles. So for example, some people might use property just purely for cash flow, then eventually going into development. Some people want to start in developments, and it all depends on your goal. So I've identified four, so this is on the next page, 4 key stages of wealth creation. So the first is financial independence. And this just means essentially, with most of you, you come here working a job. So financial independence basically means you're able to make money without having to rely on a job. You know that you can wake up tomorrow, source a deal, and you're making money on your own accord. That's the first step, right? And that's why a lot of people tend to use sourcing, because that's more so financial independence. Now the second step is called financial freedom. And everyone has a different definition, but I define that as where the money that you're making from your own personal means is allowing you to live the life that you want without having to rely on a job. So for example, you now can, if you want, leave your job, travel whenever you want, literally just from, for example, your sourcing business. So again, you want to think how you can get to that stage. And in your head, be thinking, what's your financial freedom number? What number do you need to be achieving every single month that you can, if you want to leave your job, there's nothing wrong with job, like jobs are really good, but if you want to leave your job, you want to be able to travel wherever, help your parents out. What is that number? That's your financial freedom number.
What did you say for the first point?
Financial independence and financial freedom. Now, these two sections is mainly about cash flow, right? Because as you guys know, cash flow is king. So this is more so about how you can get in a regular cash flow every single month. But the only thing with cash flow is that cash flow, unless spent well, can be very, very void. As you know, a lot of people have cash, but they're not able to invest into assets. They're not able to pass it down. So it becomes void. So that's where the next stage comes. And that's what you call multiplication of wealth. So how can you now put your money into something to make more money? So for example, when I was starting property and I realized that sourcing was a good cash flow vehicle, I said, okay, cool, what can I put it into where I can now make more money and use leverage? And that's when I started going into other businesses. So creating other businesses, putting money into businesses to grow it, reinvesting it into my own business, started to get more property. So again, this is where I can now turn my cash into an actual asset. So again, the different asset forms, as I mentioned, businesses, property, all of these things, land. So I think you said you want to invest abroad into your country. All these things is assets. So again, in your head, okay, cool. What type of properties do you want? Do you want to buy land? How much do you need to have land? How much do you need to save every single month to afford your land? So it's very good about being intentional. And again, if I talk about this in terms of property, a good way to do this is through flips. You can now save X amount from property sourcing, put it into a flip, and flip it to multiply your wealth. But again, a lot of times with multiplying wealth, it just leads to more cash. So for example, I might put money into another business, but it's also going to bring me more cash, which is nothing wrong with it. But then this is where I think the real success comes from. And I've actually got a video coming out about this on YouTube in a few weeks' time. Whenever I speak to a lot of my clients who are successful, I always want to learn from them. Like one thing about me, everyone and anyone, even if it's an Uber driver, I'm always trying to learn. I think one thing that I've noticed amongst my most successful clients is their desire to preserve their wealth. So yes, they want to make a lot of money and put money into things to do high risk, but they're all about how can they preserve their wealth. And so a lot of them literally are buying developments, they're buying blocks of apartments, they're literally just having things that they know that they can pass on to their children without any hassle. So again, long term, your goal might be like, okay, cool, how can I now, with all the money that I've made, end up preserving my wealth? So again, these are things that you should be thinking about when starting your property journey and business journey. Cool. Now, you guys have seen this before. Again, a lot of people have this, I don't know why this is the dream number, but everyone's dream number, 100K per year. And again, as you guys have probably seen this before, how you break it down, you can sell 4 deals a month at 2,083, 3 deals a month at 2,795, 2 deals a month at 4,166, or selling 1 deal a month at 8,333. So again, it's just a maths. And I think when you track stuff so crucially, it's going to allow you to take the next step. Because I think a lot of times we try to freestyle it. We're like, okay, cool, I've got a goal of X amount per month, but we haven't actually got an actual plan to achieve this. I think with me, that's when I started switching to the high ticket model, because I realized, okay, cool, I don't want to spend too much time on the business. And for me to make this amount, I have to now sell 3 deals or 4 deals based if I'm co-sourced or not. And that's why I decided, let me just see how I can focus on the higher end of the market, where I need to sell 1 deal a month, and it can allow me to live the life that I want. So again, these are all the things that you're going to be thinking about as you're transitioning. Cool. Now, last thing before I go into the main property strategies is, what is the difference between a starting sourcer and the type of sourcer that you want to become? So I want to ask you guys first before I answer. So let's say, in comparison to where you are right now and to the sourcer that you want to become, what would you say the main difference is? What do you need to, I guess, improve on to get to that level? So anyone can answer.
Consistency.
Consistency, nice. That's a good one. Confidence, nice. Deals. So be more specific. What do you mean by deals?
Get more deals across the line.
More consistent deals. Okay, cool, nice. So high conversions, cool. Anyone else? Do one more?
Action and experience.
Action experience.
Yeah.
No, amazing, man. And I think that's true. And I think I kind of break that down into 3 ways, and all of it kind of fits into that. So number one, I think you've got to be in the flow of money and opportunity. So again, one thing that I learned from a lot of people is, I think when you're beginner starting, you're doing a lot of chasing, right? You're chasing investors, you're chasing agents, you're chasing landlords, which again, we call that outreach, but it's kind of like a form of chasing. But one thing that I've noticed about people who are at the beginner level and this level is that they're in a flow of money and opportunity. So for example, similarly to you guys, I used to always chase deals, chase investors, because that's what part of the process, right? But now I have a lot of deals and investors coming to me because of the way I position myself. So you guys need to think, okay, cool, what person do you have to become, or what brand do you have to build where deals and investors are coming to you? Like, what environment you have to put yourself in? And sometimes this can cost, like sometimes I'm in masterminds where they're very expensive, but I now know in the back of my head, okay, cool, if everyone's paying thousands of pounds to be in this mastermind, they must have hundreds of thousands to invest in the property. So again, I'm now getting more opportunities for being in the right room. So think to yourself, how can I be in the flow of money and opportunities? And be even more specific. So a good example I give is my uncle's a dentist, and I said to him, I want to start targeting non-property investors because I felt like a lot of property investors were going on courses and having unrealistic expectations. And he said, Denzel, how are you trying to find your dentist? And I was like, oh, just doing outreach through LinkedIn and stuff. He was like, that's good, but Denzel, why don't you be in the room where dentists are? So I remember I went to one networking event, all dentists. I was actually the only property person. But from that, I kid you not, I probably had a line from like here to there of people trying to talk to me because I was the only person in property. So from there, I was putting myself in the flow of money and opportunity. So think to yourself, how can you put yourself in the flow of mind opportunities? So we have just finished the first part, very, very insightful. Right now we're going to go over literally live deal finders. So the mentees are in there finding their deals and calling them. And then we're going to go over a bit of rejection handling. So sometimes landlords and agents say no just because they don't really understand or they're not really convinced about what you're offering them. So we're going to go over today what we need to do to overcome the objections and to make sure we're creating a win-win solution for ourselves and for the landlords.
What's been your biggest win so far since joining the academy?
My biggest win is I sold 4 units in 7 days.
Amazing. And how much revenue have you been able to generate?
Revenue around 5,000.
Amazing. In 1 week?
Yes.
Some of you guys know I run something called the DJPS Academy, and with that I help people start and scale their own property sourcing journey. Now every month members of the community, we get together and then we go to like a project visit where people understand how refurbs work, how different property deals work. And suddenly one of my friends in the property industry who are doing really, really well, we get together at their property. So today we're at Ethan Hammond's property. A good friend of mine, I'll put his Instagram somewhere here. He's someone that has been doing property for a while. He's still very young. He's featured on Channel 4 and he's just an incredible guy, man. So he's one of my good friends now. Was a really, really good property developer. So today, all of the mentees we've got together, and yeah, we're gonna go through his project. He's done quite a few of mine in the past before, and people always left with so much value. So yeah, man, I'll show you guys through his project.
Will be your boiler, electrics, gas, roof, and windows. Those are the high ticket items. Those are the things where if I came into a room, if I came on a viewing and I didn't notice that all the windows needed replacing, that could be an extra 10 grand on your build costs that would wipe your deal out. However, if it's like just new flooring, that's not going to cost that much. That's not high ticket. So you want to be looking at the things that will cost you high ticket. Or loft extension usually are within permitted development rights, but as a flat, it loses those permitted development rights. So if it was a house, I wouldn't have to go through the planning system to get a loft on. It's permitted development. You can extend in your loft easily. Yeah. You can extend in your loft. I think it's 25 cubic meters or something like that without planning permission. But because it's a flat, I need the planning permission. So in order to make sure I got my planning permission, I went in for planning during the conveyancing stage, which is what you want to do if you're going through the planning system, is to put in your plan application as quick as possible, because to get this planning, I think it took like 8 weeks to get the planning. And this is planning just for a loft. It's very simple.
Although I already know Ethan, I always hear his journey and it inspires me every single time. The fact that he decided to, leave his job and take the risk to start property shows that what can be achieved if you generally put your mind and focus to things in life. So he started his journey up north because obviously there was low barriers to entry. Then moved back down to London, which was close to home for him. And he's absolutely killing it, man. And he's still, I think he's 25, 26. Still mad young. A lot of good things coming. GDV over 2 million, man. So yeah, man, I myself learn from him a lot every single time I meet him. Just simple conversations I have and his mindset of what he can achieve. And although he's grateful for what he's achieved, he's still got a lot more that he's aspiring to do. So yeah, man, always surround yourself with people who are like-minded or even a few steps ahead of you, where you can learn from them and become the best version of yourself. So yeah, man, it's been a really, really good day.